But now we got some international conflict and crisis. And I do think this, in my personal opinion, there's an interesting conversation around how the conflict with India and China overlaps with what we're seeing in our cities with the police and the riots. But in order to understand, so I'll just give you the straight up speculation that I've said it, we're on the brink of war with China. We've had destroyers going to the South China Sea. Yep. We've had China threatening us threatening back. China doing like beaching trainings with Taiwan, not with Taiwan, but doing beaching trainings and, escalating tensions with Taiwan. They want to take that island.
Yep. We just moved some carriers into the Pacific.
Yep.
Jeez.
3 carrier groups.
Mike Pompeo said in February, we have been infiltrated by China. Now, all of a sudden, China's engaging in this conflict with India. And you were mentioning that you think it may have something to do with water.
I think it has a lot to do with water, yeah.
So put a tag in that for now. And my idea earlier on is just, if we do enter a war with China and people are fleeing the cities, which they are, and then you have people buying guns like crazy, which they are. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're going to be in a pretty good position relative to where we were.
Could be worse.
True.
If we go to war with China, China could easily just be like, I'll put a drop of this polonium in the water and whole city's gone.
I think it would be more like they would hack our systems, shut the reactors down or the water system, make it backfire, blow pipes so that entire cities would just not have any water.
Right. But now we've got tons of people fleeing cities, distributing themselves about the country. So it'll be harder to hit any single point and cripple our economy in the event of a full-on war.
That's true.
So we'll get to that. But first, we have this story. I don't know if you want to read this one because you've been reading into it, right?
Well, I mean, I could just I don't know which article this is here.
It's a really short editorial talking about China provoking.
Oh,
India.
let's just read what it says here. It says provoking a crisis with India, China's latest aggression. Says China continues to mark the global pandemic with troublemaking the world really doesn't need right now. The latest aggression across the line of actual control on its border with India. Monday's deadly skirmish killed 20 Indian soldiers and likely left Chinese casualties too. Although now it's been reported that 43 Chinese fighters have been killed.
But they were bludgeoned to death, you were saying.
Well, yeah, I'll get to that. So I'll just keep reading. It says, though Beijing won't confirm it, these are the first combat deaths on the border since 1975.
Wow.
China blamed India for carrying out provocative attacks, leading to serious physical conflicts in the snow-covered West Himalayas. But Beijing is the one who's been pushing for weeks, impinging on territory it hasn't actively claimed for decades, supposedly because Delhi has modernized the highway that runs along its side of the line. Now that's very accurate. That's basically what's happening. China has been like, we have this area. I think it was in 1967, India and China agreed upon like a border line and said, all right, this is the line. China's been building up on it. India basically hasn't been until recently. So now they're like starting to build infrastructure in this area, and China's already overstepped their grounds. So India's like, hey, this is our territory, back off. And it's basically reaching ahead now. It's like they're finally coming to blows over this push back and forth. And it's pretty crazy. It was a battle in the night. It was nighttime. They didn't know who, they were fighting with throwing rocks. They had sticks. It wasn't like a gun battle. It was like a mountainside
skirmish.
More people, yeah, I guess skirmish.
Yeah. Sounds like Antifa versus the Proud Boys.
More people died from head injuries the next day.
Oh.
Wow.
Not even during the battle. It was because they were getting bludgeoned in the head with these
rocks.
No. Well, yeah, I guess rocks.
Yeah.
Sticks with the. I did read one somewhere. I don't know if this is confirmed, but they were like wrapping barbed wire on some sticks and using them to fight. And it was like, wow.
We skipped over the whole nuclear weapons thing. Went straight to sticks and rocks.
Right back to Stone Age.
It is kind of crazy.
I got a message from somebody. They said when we were talking about China and war with China.
Yeah.
For one, a lot of people have pointed out China's tech is trash. But another really good point is that we got 1 billion allies chilling in India.
Well, and Trump and Modi got they're
buddies,
buddied up now.
Wasn't
India's our ally. If we were to go to war with China, India would be like, let's do this, America.
Yeah,
they're the ones who are going to do the fighting.
They have 1.3 billion people. China has 1.4 billion people.
Ooh.
So
wow.
I mean,
jeez, dude,
it's like,
what is that? Like a sixth of the world fighting a sixth of the world?
Yeah, basically.
That's crazy,
a third
man.
of the world fighting overnight.
Yeah,
it's pretty
dude.
insane.
So we would end up sitting back, and most of the fighting would be happening on the Asian continent. That would wipe China out.
It absolutely would, because we would probably go join India, and it would stay over there.
Oh, dude, we'd send them crazy weapons.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
If we haven't already, because Trump is buddied up with them. It's like,
well, now
the American war machine doesn't change for whoever, Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter. That still keeps rolling along.
The one time, maybe not the one time, but one of the times the media is actually praising Trump when he fired 59 Tomahawk missiles at Syria.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And all the libertarian types from like, anti-war left to like, libertarian right, we're all collectively laughing. Like, we knew that as soon as Trump went warmonger, the media would be like, what a great president.
I know, it's true.
But they were bad.
They ran a segment where they were like, perhaps this is Trump being presidential.
Right.
And it's like, you just 59 missiles. You people are nuts, man. Yeah, when he does what the war machine wants. And so who was it? At least Trump didn't start any new wars.
Yeah, Gates.
Yeah, right.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, if we also had, what was it? North Korea blew up the South Korean liaison office.
Liaison building, yeah.
And they announced they're gonna like stop cooperating. China's now the enemy, or I'm sorry, South Korea is now the enemy.
Oh boy.
And they're gonna move on the DMZ or something.
That's not a good idea.
They were demilitarizing the demilitarized zone, which is really funny, like clearing landmines and stuff.
Wow.
I thought
North Korea was?
Both were like, we're gonna start opening things up and normalizing relationships. Now North Korea's like, they're going for it.
Yeah, probably because China's like, hey, North Korea, it's time.
Yep.
Let's do stuff.
Start it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And he's like, okay, let's do it.
I have to wonder if, we sit on the brink of war with China. Is what we're seeing now on the border with India because China knows their real fight will be India, not us.
Huh.
Probably. I mean, before I was reading into it, I did. So you said put a pin in it. I thought it was about water. So Pakistan and India fight over water rights from a lot of the rivers that come down from the Himalayan mountains. So, and actually the same water source, if you follow it all the way up, goes down the other way into China. And I mean, water is a precious commodity that we take advantage. People want to talk about American privilege. It's like, we have running water that you can drink. That's amazing.
We literally flush it down the toilet.
We flush fresh water down the toilet. Exactly. That's insane. There's people around the world that don't have fresh water
or toilets.
So think about it. If China goes, if they are pushing over and they want to starve out India, if they think India is actually one of the threats, taking one of the main water sources away is a huge deal.
Yeah.
And then when you brought that up, I was like, interesting. And everything happening in the U.S. is forcing Americans to flee cities and buy guns.
Yep.
So how easily could these riots be wiped away and washed up and it's all over?
Oh man, like that.
Yeah.
Like if that.
But there's a couple of reasons how it could be done. The Insurrection Act.
Okay.
The army comes in.
Yep.
National Guard gets deployed, or the media stops covering any of it.
That's a good point.
People forget all about it.
Stop shoving it down people's throats.
Seriously. Or an enemy that we unite against.
An outside enemy.
Or aliens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aliens finally make their appearance and everyone goes,
July.
Oh.
The aliens.
July 4th. Independence Day is
Independence
coming.
Day.
It's
Yeah,
coming.
it is coming.
It's coming up.
Did you see the
man.
Babylon?
Man.
Did you see the Babylon Bee's future timeline?
Oh man, what?
We should pull it up.
We should.
Yeah, do it. I don't know anything about it, but
Where did they post it on Twitter?
I can tweet it out just now if you guys want
Babylon
to
Bee is
put it on Twitter and then
a gold mine.
I love the Babylon
Man.
and then I'll go to your Twitter.
Yes.
So basically, the Babylon Bee created a timeline of 2020 so far.
Oh, 10K!
Ooh, welcome everyone.
Congratulations!
Ah.
No, get the camera over there.
Wait,
not on
me?
me. Yes.
Oh, I have 10K followers.
Lydia finally hit 10K.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Adam beat me.
Well,
Thanks, guys.
you're the one making a competition.
I know, it's
I
true.
don't care.
I did make it a competition.
I mean,
All right.
I love the people
post-
following me. Don't get me wrong, but was not a
Did you post it?
competition.
Yeah, I did.
All right, I want to pull up this. This is hilarious.
Okay, this is great.
So
Everyone follow along.
War, perhaps, or how about this tweet right here?
Oh.
You can't see because of my face.
You could, yeah.
Maybe I can shrink it. Can I
move
shrink
over?
it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh
No, I
my
can't
goodness.
because Twitter doesn't let you do it anymore.
Well, that's all right.
Anyway,
It's
check it out.
COVID-19. There's a little bat symbol.
Yeah, and then it says, Then Trump was impeached, then acquitted.
Yes.
Tiger King released. International IQ drops 40 points.
Definitely.
Kim Jong-un almost dies. Sister pretty, what does it say? Pretty mad. Murder hornets skipped right past torture. Riots. Cops abolished. Free, what does it say? Free, what did it say? Free Legos and cheesecake.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, everyone was stealing it.
Then we have this one. Monkeys steal COVID-19 samples.
Yep.
COVID-20 now in production. Country of Chaz founded, or Chop or something. Now stop. Those are all real.
Yeah, those things really
So
happen.
that's the
things-
actual timeline.
Those things. A monkey actually stole the COVID
I know,
samples.
yes,
that was in India, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that was in India. I'm
It's
not,
in India.
It's insane.
not feeling good about our allies over there just
insane.
now. What is
But now,
happening?
wait. So here's their future predictions for what's
Okay,
going to happen.
Hang in.
Amy Schumer releases new comedy special. Yikes.
What?
Hillary accepts nomination after Biden mysteriously dies.
Call it. Oh, I
Hold
hate
on, hold
being
on.
right sometimes.
It keeps getting better.
No.
Ninjas kidnap Trump while golfing.
Oh, my gosh.
Adam Sandler wins presidency right in
What?
victory.
Wow.
I would write in Adam Sandler. Genocidal honey badgers erupt from volcanoes,
Whoa.
slay millions. Diabetes goes airborne. Everyone comes down with the fat.
Oh my gosh.
This is great.
This is brutal.
Hurricanes. Bear hurricanes created by the military
Wow.
in attempt to defeat badgers backfires.
Wow.
Alexa and Siri enslave humans. Feminism win.
Well, wait. Wouldn't it be a bear NATO? Come on. I'm sorry.
Bear
Whoa.
hurricanes.
Hold on.
Oh.
Hold on. Babylon B.
All right.
Your satire isn't exactly correct.
Barricane.
Barricade.
Barricane
Barricades.
is pretty good.
I mean,
Tornado.
but it's a picture of a tornado, so you're right.
Yeah.
It's a picture of a tornado.
Oh.
I'm upset.
A hurricane
Cancel
is bigger.
Babylon B. Cancel them.
Snopes and CNN been trying, man.
No, I love
Just
that-
kidding. I love Babylon B.
I love that Hillary accepts nomination after Biden mysteriously dies.
Mysteriously.
So weird.
you get my quotes? You got my
Yeah,
quotes.
We've been
Good.
talking about
Amy
this,
Schumer
man.
releases new comedy special.
The worst part of this timeline.
Wow.
But what's messed up about it is like, man, the jokes write themselves. Did you know that before they pulled Aunt Jemima,
Wow.
8 hours before they announced they were canceling Aunt Jemima, The Onion wrote an article saying Aunt Jemima was canceled.
It happened.
Wait, that was a seriously, that's the way it happened?
8
Yeah.
hours before Quaker announced pulling Aunt Jemima,
Taking
The
advice.
Onion had published an article saying they were replacing Aunt Jemima with a less offensive character or something. What is this?
We're rushing off somewhere. I'm not sure. Up.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
So I walk in here today, or was this yesterday?
Yeah.
yeah.
And I see this sitting there. Can I get a close
I
up?
can't. I'm
Can't close
sorry.
up?
No, I can't. It's Blazing Saddles.
This
Check
is
it out.
the DVD for Blazing Saddles.
There we go.
I don't know when this is gonna get canceled,
Only
but
matter of
it's a
time.
hilarious movie making fun of racism, and
But it's racist.
oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
to everyone who's gonna cancel it, do not cancel it, but they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
They've already brought it up.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, they
Of
brought it
course,
up.
Of course
Watch
they
me
have.
tomorrow.
Yep.
Yep.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right, Onion. Don't
I-
write the
Don't
article.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Please.
No.
I
We
bought-
need this.
I bought a bunch of
Oh man.
movies.
You did?
Yeah.
In preparation. This
And
is
I-
one of them,
and-
isn't it?
And Ian and I bought a bunch of Magic cards we think are about to get banned.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for those that aren't following the whole Magic card fiasco, that to me is the most shocking, because it's like you have one of the most popular games on the planet, one of the most complicated strategy games.
Yep.
What 30,
It
40
was rated the most complex game ever.
It's like chess on steroids.
Yeah. For
ever.
those that don't know what we're talking about, it's this. right?
Magic the Gathering.
Magic
Yeah.
the Gathering. It's like it's the original playing card game, trading card, and they've begun banning things like this for being racist. This card, it's called a jihad. They banned this from the game. You can't use it. It's not the best card in the world anyway, but they literally said because the card is racist, you can't play with it anymore. Not even game function. So Blazing Saddles and a bunch of other movies. I can't remember which ones. I went in. I bought No, I couldn't get Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind is sold out.
Oh, you can
Oh,
get it
that's
now.
right.
It's like $150.
Oh
on
my
eBay?
gosh.
I last I saw it was $150 on
Crazy.
Amazon.
But
It was
but
insane.
apparently HBO is going to bring it back. But if you want the real unedited version, the
Yeah.
historical version,
Uh-huh.
you better buy it now, man.
Yep.
That's a good
But
point.
well,
they're gonna bring it back with a prologue before the movie starts from
Yeah.
like a social justice warrior.
so dumb.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Whatever, man.
Yeah.
But Ian, You guys might know Ian. He co-hosted the
Oh
show with him a couple
yeah,
times.
they know him as Cosmic Garth.
Yes.
Cosmic Garth.
Cosmic Garth. He
Yep. Comes to
joined me
me-
on Adamcast while you
Yeah.
were gone. Go ahead.
He comes to me and he's like, bro, they're gonna ban like all of these cards. Look, and he starts telling me like, look at these cards, and I'm like, these cards are all
You are correct,
racist,
Ian.
dude.
You are
More
correct.
so than the ones they actually
Definitely.
did ban.
Actually
Yep.
really funny.
But they set
So-
the precedence, man.
Check it
People-
out.
People started. There's the Angel of Jubilation. All non-black creatures get bigger.
Well, so- but
plus
hold-
one plus
hold
one.
on.
It's like
There's a card that people immediately highlighted when Wizard. So the company that owns this is called Wizards of the Coast. It's also owned by Hasbro Toys. When they started declaring that art and game function was racist,
yep.
they banned Crusade because it shows Templar Knights and one's like raising a sword, and it says all white creatures get +1 strength, +1 defense or whatever. I'm trying to simplify the game for those that aren't familiar.
Yeah.
And I guess because it makes white creatures stronger, that's racist. So
Yep.
there's another card called Cleanse that says all black creatures are destroyed.
Huh.
That just refers to black magic. So I immediately bought a mint version. I put it on my Instagram, so you can check it out on Instagram, instagram.com/Timcast.
It's 9 out of 10.
Right, whatever.
Just kidding.
The point is,
Just
hold
poking
on.
at
So
you.
so when Wizards banned this card because it destroyed all black creatures, immediately people pointed out another card called Virtue's Ruin.
Yep.
And it shows a knight, noble knight, in black goop, sinking in, dying apparently, and it says all white creatures are destroyed. They're saying, why won't you ban this one? This one's targeting white people. And I'm like, what these people who are highlighting this one card didn't understand is that the card Crusade is just a historical reference. White knights being like, hurrah! Virtue's Ruin literally shows evil blackness destroying the virtuous knight,
Yep.
saying all white creatures are destroyed. And I'm like, that is substantially more interpretably racist by their standards.
Yep.
But this is what we have now. They're banning everything. Yeah, so the funny thing about the Aunt Jemima stuff is, because we were talking about this a little earlier, I don't care if they ban Aunt Jemima. It's a brand for a company. And if they're like, it's not going to help me sell a product, I get it. Now, what I don't like is when, companies pander by actively trying to engage in some kind of activist thing. It's like, we get it, brand. You don't care about us.
Right.
Changing their mascot to adhere to a more modern whatever, dude, whatever. But a lot of people kept saying Uncle Ben was next.
Guess
And
what?
sure enough,
Yep.
Uncle
You
Ben.
got it?
Today.
Did you pull it up?
No, no.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Uncle
gonna
Ben's
pull.
gone.
I'm gonna pull up this this card that I found. I posted it on Twitter. We were talking about it the other day, but I have it here.
What's it called?
Oh, no. This one's so racist, bro.
I know.
Oh man.
How is this? Do you don't even want to show it?
I can
Sure, it's a
show
magic
it?
card, man.
Yeah.
Here. There we
So
go.
so this is Sanger Autocrat.
Oh boy.
When he comes into play, create 3 black serfs. And if you don't know what a serf is, it's a slave.
Kind of. But yeah.
In essence, yes. So it's like, so
The whole game is done.
The whole game of Magic is done. Wizards, they made their own game racist.
Yep. It wasn't.
Never in my entire history of playing Magic, 20 years, mind you, did I ever equate it to anything outside of the Magic realm. I was playing with summoning creatures and casting
Goblins
spells
and vampires.
yeah,
and
exactly.
Wizards.
It was a
Yeah.
fantasy world for me. They did it. They brought it out and said, "Hey, by the way, these colors are racist now. These specific ones that we've titled." And it's like, okay, whoa. So you just popped this bubble that now this game isn't fantasy for me anymore. You made it realistic, Wizards. You did this to yourself. You're making these cards racist.
Yeah.
So here's what's really crazy about it. The reference to white and black is like white and black magic.
Yeah.
We have those in movies. We have those in books. It's a
Yeah.
reference to night and day. It, depending on who you ask, consult an expert on folklore and mythology. But my general understanding is it's a reference to, in ancient civilizations, humans knew the day was good. It was
Right.
warm. It was safe. You could see the crops
It grew
grew.
the crops, yes.
And
the
night was
sun.
scary and dangerous and
because
predators.
they believed the night ate the sun.
yeah.
And there
Well,
was like
yeah,
this
it's-
epic journey every single night to fight through the darkness for the sun to rise again.
Right.
And so from this, you end up with concepts like white magic and black magic, a reference to night and day and light
Right.
and darkness.
Yes.
Magic the Gathering is a game that has those as key elements. Never, ever was the reference to white or black about race.
Exactly.
They decided, because of the wokeness, this one white card must surely be about race. Therefore, we're going to ban it. effectively telling everyone who plays their silly little goblin fantasy game that all of these references to magic are now race-based.
Exactly.
And then Adam pulls out a card that is a black card that generates black serfs.
Yep.
And it's like, Magic, you want to play the woke game, ban the whole game.
Ban all of the colors.
Look,
black and white, just get rid of them. Just get rid of them.
it's not just about that. It's about opening the door to the cult.
Yes.
Exactly. It's the first domino being pushed over.
And they did it.
Yep, they did it to themselves.
Kicked it over.
Yep,
And now what's going to happen?
exactly.
As we've seen with people like Drew Brees, you can apologize. It won't work.
Yeah, apologize again. Guess what's going to happen?
Apologize again.
Nothing.
That doesn't matter.
You're just making their fire bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toss some gas onto the flame.
You admitted fault.
Yep, exactly.
So Magic came out and said, you know what? You're right. This game is racist. And now I can just see all of this swarm of zombies have just found a pile of brains.
Yep.
And they're like, here's the thing about a lot of games. If there was a game where it had like one character, like let's say you're playing Fallout 3, and one of the characters in the game is deemed racist. Or you know what? Aunt Jemima.
Sure.
They say Aunt Jemima is based off of a racist stereotype, the old mammy, the minstrel show character. So we've decided to change it. That's one thing. Magic the Gathering has, 20,000 different depictions of various art?
20,000, yeah.
20, is it 20?
It's probably more.
Probably more than that.
I'm pretty sure it's over 20,000
Especially with
cards.
alternative art.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So if you go to a game and there's like one thing someone can complain about and you change it, that might be the end of it. This game, each individual card has unique art on it and a unique function, and there's 20,000+.
There's only one card that they banned that I agree with.
Invoke prejudice.
Invoke prejudice.
I don't agree with it though.
You don't agree. You don't think they should have even banned that?
Because the card was not itself racist.
That's right. So they made it racist by saying it's racist.
Well,
taking it out.
The card was a play on racism.
Okay.
So this one card, for those that aren't familiar, literally had something to do with the colors of the creatures you have versus the color of the creatures your opponents have.
That's a good point. The card itself is a play on racism.
Right.
Exactly.
That's what it's about.
The card itself didn't say white or black.
Right.
It wasn't derogatory in any way.
It was invoke prejudice against a color of your enemy,
Right.
basically.
It's not a good thing.
Or it was all colors actually.
Right.
It was specifically it was a card designed to thematically be a reference to racism.
Yeah.
So now when they loaded it in the database, they coded the number 1488.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
spicy.
somebody thought it was funny. That was not a smart move. But you can change this.
We don't know if it was a joke or someone intentionally meant to do that.
It was a joke. Like even if the person who worked for this company was a Nazi, him putting it in there he thought was funny. Like there's no one who's going like, haha, I will secretly add this number and that will my mission will be complete. No. It was somebody messing around. They thought it was funny because of what the card represented.
Yeah, either way though. They did it to themselves.
Here's the point I'm making. The Woke Outrage Committee have just found an endless pot of gold to be outraged about.
Endless.
Yep.
Endless.
You know what? Maybe it's good.
This is going to be the most glory.
They can keep digging through Magic cards forever. I know
Keep
I
'em
do.
busy.
To just I have that many cards, just dig through cards. It's like, sure, if they want to do that, have at it. Whatever.
This is going to be
It'll appease them.
It's going to be one of the most epic meltdowns in the history of the woke outrage.
Yeah.
I bet you right now there's some bored SJW who's going through the entire database, going like, doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Ooh, this one. What's that about? Ooh, green. I don't know. I don't know what that green mean.
Yeah.
That's bigoted. Ooh, what's that there? And Wizards said they're going to ban more cards.
And they said they're going to ban more cards.
Yep.
It's never going to end.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. Could you imagine playing chess? This is the joke I made on Twitter. I was like, we should make all chess pieces pawns because to have nobility is classist, and then all the pieces should be the same color because equality. It's racist to have white versus black.
Yeah.
And it's also not fair that white gets to go first. So we definitely got to change that. And then actually nobody should be allowed to touch the pawns because that would assert your privilege over the pawns. So basically we'll just have a board full of pawns and you just watch. You just look at
You
it.
just watch them
You just
do
look at
nothing.
it. No, you just look at the board. You're like, it's nice. No playing games. And for that matter, winning is unfair because you had an advantage by being taught how to play, and someone else didn't. So it's not fair that you get to win.
We've known that, man.
Think about that absurdity of the woke cult.
Cancel participation trophies.
Yes.
Do it. Cancel them. Why do we have them?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, I don't want my kid to feel bad. Yes, but it'll make them want to be better, though. You're losing that.
Think about think about the absurdity of the woke cult saying that it's unfair that someone had access to an education. And it's like, okay, if I know how to do a backflip and you don't, you are arguing that my privilege in being taught to do a backflip means that I have to be knocked down a peg or two. So there's no competition at all, ever.
Right.
Just literally none.
Yeah.
So what does the world look like at the logical conclusion of what they do? Is every magic card going to just be blank?
Yep. Because
you can't have color?
Yeah, we gotta learn how to have thicker skin and be okay with losing. Learn how to lose. We've forgotten how to lose.
Do you know what colorism is?
I'm not familiar.
It's like a new thing they invented a few years ago because they replaced racism with some kind of like, they basically said that racism is prejudice plus power, and thus by changing the definition of racism, they had no word for racism. So then they created colorism.
Colorism.
Yeah, where you're biased against someone based on the pigment of their skin, and it's like, bro, you just reinvented racism. Like that racism was a part of that, but you changed the definition. That's the problem with changing definitions.
Yep.
But they're doing it to change the laws surreptitiously, like the Supreme Court just did.
Yep.
So if biological sex doesn't exist, then or gender is no longer biological sex, then any legal depiction mentioning the word gender has just changed its definition.
It's crazy.
Yeah, the crazy thing about the Supreme Court ruling was that some conservatives were saying legislators in Congress will no longer understand how they're drafting law if they understand that in the future definitions of words will change, therefore the meaning of the law is irrelevant. That means you could literally lead a campaign to change the definition of a word as a joke, and then all of a sudden you have weird laws.
Yep.
It actually says in the 1964 Civil Rights Act that you can't discriminate on the basis of color. What does that mean? Color? The color of my shirt? Just color in general.
Well, you were wearing a blue shirt, and it was
really
making everyone uncomfortable.
In all seriousness, what does color mean in the interpretation of the 1964 Civil Rights Act? We don't know. How about I interpret it to say the color of my hat. Therefore, if someone wears a MAGA hat, you can't fire him because it says color. My color, the hat.
Right.
It doesn't say skin. It doesn't say body color. It doesn't say hair color, eye color. It just says color.
That's why you define your terms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if we're going to start reinterpreting what these things mean, like the Supreme Court did, okay. Color now is a reference to anything pertaining to you with the color. So if they say, I don't like your red hat, oh, I got you.
Yep.
You can't fire me. Nope. I don't like the color of your hat. There you go. But I'm willing to bet that. Actually, no, I'm not willing to bet. I was going to say that we get to a point where everything is banned to a degree that people snap.
Yep.
But I don't know, man.
No, people are starting to fight back, man.
They're fighting back in the streets because they're being physically threatened.
Well, I mean, I think we're gonna see a wave of not like a red or blue wave, but a wave of logic-based humans, logic-based Americans.
I don't believe it.
Okay.
What the guys in South Philly with baseball bats?
Sure.
Were acting like Antifa.
Okay.
Wearing masks, hitting people, smacking cameras.
Yeah, but that, as you said,
tires.
those are the people that are physically out in the streets.
Yeah.
Those aren't the people that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the new politicians that are taking over, the people that are gonna, people like me. I'm eventually, I've been thinking about it for a little while. Getting more and more into politics because needs to be had. We need some people to take over to get in there and make a difference.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what has to happen.
Yep.
We got to stop going, how are you making all these wrong decisions? Meh. It's like, and what are you doing for decisions? Nothing.
Exactly.
You're just letting them make decisions. So why? How can you complain and yet you're not actually stepping up and doing something about it?
Like the situation with the police.
Yes.
How many of these people are actively getting involved in fixing these problems?
None of them. Exactly. They're just screaming. They're reeing from their corner.
One of the craziest things is in 2015, a 62-year-old, I think he's 62, black guy in California started a nonprofit called the Black Lives Matter Foundation.
Okay.
Yep.
And now that they're trying to start the global network, an actual foundation from like high-profile activists, they were shocked to discover somebody has already got the name because the name was just a hashtag. This dude said they didn't want to create a 501c3, so I did. And his goal is to bring the police and the people together. to
Awesome.
mend these wounds.
That's great.
So you know what the media is doing now?
What?
Attacking him,
Really?
claiming he's not the real Black Lives Matter, and they've frozen the donations to his nonprofit.
Yep.
That's messed up.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
That's so messed up.
Yeah, man. It's like,
They don't want equality. They don't want us on the same page.
Want
Yep.
They
power.
don't want us together. We gotta fight that. I think it's crazy that a lot of these people are feeding into it, and I don't think it's the majority.
it's definitely not the majority.
It's not.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, man. The majority that we're talking about, this other group of, I think, 35 to 40% of people don't care about anything.
You're right.
And they're the ones who are going to show up with baseball bats and crowbars when you try and knock down their statues. Because they're going to be like, I don't know none of that Trump stuff. I don't know none of that Hillary, whatever, man. You come into my neighborhood, you try to mess with my stuff, we're going to get the boys and we're going to go outside. And they're going to have all their women with them, too, who are going to be filming and yelling and cheering them on.
Yep. That's true.
That's what happened in Philly. Like, they're going to come out and be like, I don't know who you are. I don't care.
Yep.
I don't know about communism. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't care who you vote for.
They're calling these people
You're not
right-wing.
taking down our neighborhood.
Yep.
Yup. Yeah.
Period.
Man,
That's gonna happen everywhere.
definitely. So I heard that in the Chicago suburbs, these outside people were coming to protest. People from outside of these suburbs would come there and set up these protests and get people to march.
Yep.
But the people marching didn't live there. We're getting to the point now after all these riots that these outside groups are trying to come into these areas to protest.
Yep.
And the locals are showing up and being like,
That's exactly
whacking
what I've been
with the
saying.
pipe, like, what you doing?
Get out of our neighborhood.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify. And we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.